Less than 2 months left to prepare for 2026 so we can level up even more than in 2025. In this video, I'm going to talk about what you still should do in 2025 to be ready to make 2026 the best year of your life yet. Let's start off with a very important thing, and that is decluttering. And first, we want to talk about decluttering your space because your environment is everything. If that is not aligning with who you are and who you want to be, well, you're making things complicated for you out of no reason, because having a clean room or apartment is just such a good thing in general, and it will help you if it's right and if it's decluttered and fresh and clean to really start fresh and new into 2026. So by decluttering your room, you're leaving old things behind and creating space for new things to come in 2026. Now there's so much that you can declutter. You probably forget things, so let me remind you what you can all declutter in your room. First of all, of course, your clothing. So you probably have so many clothing that you don't wear anymore or don't really vibe with your vibe anymore, if I can say that. So sort them out and make space for new clothing, or just have more space in general. Like, you don't need a full packed environment around you. It's also good to have it very clean and minimalistic and only have the things that you actually need. It makes it so much easier to live, and you have so much less opportunities every day what to grab and stuff. So it actually saves you time and a lot of choices that you have to make that in the end are really not that important, I would say. But if it's something, of course, important for you to dress up cool, then take the space that you need for your clothing. But otherwise, always think about the more you have, the more you kind of get distracted from all of the things that you have. So always think about, how can I minimize the things that I have so it's truly the things that only matters to me and nothing else. So what you also can declutter is your workspace. So important. How can you work when there's literally so many things around you to distract you? Yeah, so have a look on your desk right now and see what are the things that you actually need on your desk and what are things that just kind of look cool, or like you kind of don't have another place, so you just put it on your desk, or you have to do and then you have it on the desk. That is all things that don't deserve a place on your desk. Your desk is here to be productive and to be focused. So have as minimal things on a desk as possible, and truly only the things that help you. For example, a water bottle fair definitely deserves its place on the desk because it's important to drink, right? Or a big monitor I also like because I like to work, but other things that just kind of keep me from actually doing stuff, like, no, nothing to search on my desk. Decor and pictures also a really good thing to declutter. How is kind of like the vibe of your room? Do you want to change it up? Probably put some more motivational posters up, or kind of change your decor to more something that aligns with you, and make your surroundings something that inspires you and motivates you. And also, it can be so fun to change up decor and change stuff in your room to kind of mark this new point that's soon gonna come in 2026, so your mind realizes, okay, wow, okay, now something different is gonna come. So take it kind of as like a ritual into the new year to just declutter everything in your room. Now also, when you go through all of the million things that you have in your room, you probably remember things that you've forgotten that are actually things that you want to do again. Like, sounds really weird, but like, for example, you find like old pens or so, and you remember, honestly, I would like to start like journaling again or so. And then you can like instantly remember that. So when you plan out your 2026 and your goals and the things you want to like focus on, you remember that and you can plan it in there because you actually remember that you have that. So it's so good to see and look around what you already have, what you already have that you're interested in, and things that you want to focus on. But not only, you have to declutter in your real life, but also in your digital one. Now I have the feeling a lot of people forget that there's so much clutter going on their phones. So let me be here to remind you to clean up your phone. Photos, social media, apps, wallpapers. There's so many things on your phone that makes it so cluttery and keep you away from the things on your phone that you actually want to do. Now, depending how often you already did that, it can be a lot of effort to do this, and it needs a lot of time. For example, also sorting out your pictures. When was the last time you sorted out your pictures? Have you ever sorted out your pictures? Yeah, I also never really did, and now I'm doing it and it takes so much time, but it's kind of fun because you can look back. But I think it's also so an important step because you have so many pictures, and let's be honest, how many times do you actually look at the old pictures? And like, when you sort them out, you at least kind of, like, you delete all the random screenshots you did and the random pictures you needed for something to know like what receipt you got. No one cares about those pictures. Like, delete them, sort them out, and declutter them. Take the time now to like declutter the whole year and make this kind of like a ritual at the end of the year to declutter your photos, because otherwise they like stack up really fast, and I think it's just sad that when you're like older and you want to look back, but there's so many pictures that don't really mean something to you. So when you sort them out, you actually have the things that mean something to you, and it's actually beautiful to look back. Now on social media, we want to sort out all of the people that kind of bring you bad energy. Like we want to start fresh, start new, so sort out all the people that also take away your time, to be honest. Truly leave only the things that inspire you and that motivates you, and that probably bring you some creative ideas. You don't need to follow hundreds of people on social media. You will not get anything out of it. I believe that you should only follow like 10 to 20 people, but you actually follow their journey and you actually get inspired from them, or you kind of look up to them and there's someone you want to be in your future. So it's good to see what they're doing on a daily basis or so. But don't just follow so many people. Like you just spend endless time on these platforms without even something personal about it. And probably also to sort out is apps, because you have probably so many apps you don't even need, and then you wonder why your storage is full, and I'm just like, yeah, you have like so many things that you don't need. So sort out the apps, see like what apps you don't even want to have anymore. Probably like social media, can think about like probably I only do 1 or 2 social media apps I'm on. And I just love to kind of change up my phone at the end of a year, because like, you know, I'm on my phone daily and it just kind of looks the same all the time. But you know, you can just change up how you have your apps, or add new apps that are actually more important for you, like habit trackers or so when you start of the year. Make new wallpapers that motivate you and inspire you. So it's kind of something different, and also gives your brain the realization like, oh, okay, yeah, now something new is gonna come. Now we're not only talking about your phone, it's also about your laptop, your TV, I don't even know what else you have, but sort out everything that you have digitally. We talked a lot about decluttering. Let's leave this to the side and talk about who you want to become in 2026. I think that's definitely not something that you should be starting thinking about 2 days before the next year and just kind of like, yeah, I think I want to do that and that, and ooh, yeah, probably that. It shouldn't be something spontaneous, okay? It's something that you choose for a whole year, so you should be very aware of what you're choosing and really be thinking about it, and not just taking quickly the last time in seconds before the end of the year to choose who you want to become. So that is not what we're doing. I think 2 months is a very good time to start thinking about this, because you know, you also want to reflect about it, and probably also after time you realize that some things are more important to you than others for the next year. So don't drag it out for like the last days. No. So if you have seen videos from last year of how I prepared for 2025, you saw that I do a very detailed description of my future self and what I want to achieve. So I know exactly what to focus on in 2025 back then, and also in 2026. And if you do something like that as well, like kind of writing down who you want to be, already start thinking about it now, so you then kind of know, you know, what you want to write down. Because like, if you want it as detailed as possible, it's good if you start thinking about it as soon as possible now. And you can do that, for example, with shadow working, which I think is a wonderful way to find out more about you and also make this future self version of yourself really align actually with who you are, and it's not just someone randomly other than you're describing, but actually has something true about you. Now you don't have to actually do something, you know, you can just think about it when you have time, and like now that you remember and you know you should think about it, you can just kind of like be aware of it when you go over the day, and when you're like doing something, like for example cooking, like, oh god, I actually really like cooking, I want to continue to get better. I can write it down on my future self version description that I'm gonna do. So it's really simple and easy to integrate that into the 2 months that you still have now. Now, if it feels a little harder for you to kind of know what you even want to do, or you don't really getting somewhere with your thoughts just, and you actually need like some guidance along the way, I did for my half year reset routine, I did this Wheel of Life, which I think is a very good thing to do to kind of find out where you're happy in which areas of your life and in which you are not. So you can kind of then focus on the points where you're not happy, and instead you kind of have guidance on what to focus on. With all this thinking, you just want to set the foundation of your future self and understand it in a deeper way, because you're now taking the time to really try and figure it out of who you want to be. And yes, I think that is something that you should do every year, or at least kind of like, you know, make some changes to your script that you already have from your future self. Because I wouldn't do my future self the same way anymore now than I did in 2025, because my perceptions have changed. My ideas have changed. The things I look at things have changed. I got new things into my life, new interests. I lost interests that I had. it's all about changing. So also no pressure on that, because it's just about for this 1 year and you don't have to exactly know what you do, because it will anyway change. What you want will change, but it's a good guidance along the way for your year to see where you want to put your focus, where you want to put your goals, your habits, and it's just beautiful to see what you're working towards. So kind of also as a motivation. Talking about new interests and losing interests, I think it's such a good time now to look into new topics and learn new things. Now I think when you're watching this video, you're very ambitious about your life and your goals, and you want to set goals every year, so I assume that you do. And for that, you actually have to know in which areas you want to set yourself goals. And how can you set yourself goals in areas that you don't even know about because you haven't learned about them and you haven't really realized that you like them? So the next 2 months is going to be all about finding out new things that you want to bring into your life, that you want to learn about, new hobbies, new places you want to go, new things you want to try, new habits you want to try. All of that you have now the time, so that when you're actually doing your goals, you already have so many new ideas and changing up the things that you did now in 2025 because you took the time to look into it. So that you're not gonna have the exact same morning routine again, because you know how you're gonna grow like that if you do it every year the same. Probably was good, but you know, you have to change. You have to change something. Sometimes it also gets boring to do always the same routines. I think that, at least. So I think it's such a good time to take the time and look into new things, look into new interests, kind of look around and see what is there that I would like to add into my life. Try out new hobbies that you normally wouldn't do. Read new books that you normally wouldn't do, and try out new habits that you normally wouldn't do. It's all about that. It's all about exploring and finding out, which is actually so cool, because it could be that you find out your new best hobby and you didn't even know about it because you were too scared to try it. And as last thing to prepare yourself for 2026 is to look back on 2025 and see what worked for you and what didn't. How can you learn from your mistakes and the things that you realize you don't like or don't work out for you, when you're not even really reflecting on them and seeing them, so you're doing the same mistakes year after year again? There's just no point, so let's look back. How you do that is very up to you. You can probably journal about it, just kind of more in general how it went. You can look at each goal separately, see why I achieved it, why you didn't achieve it, so kind of get a view on like probably what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So you in that progress can understand yourself more and more, and you don't make the same mistakes again in 2026. And as the end to all of this, or like when you're slowly getting nearer to 2026, look through all of your hopefully sorted out pictures of 2025 and let your brain know that this chapter 2025 is gone now, and a new year with so many new memories and experiences is waiting for you in 2026. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye!